Hello and welcome to Mandarines. This is episode 15. It's been 3 weeks since I last recorded and I took an intentional break from podcasting. Life has been busy. I just wasn't able to sit and record. I was working on deadlines and I didn't have so many things to show you because most of my knitting is work related, so it's hard not to show you things. So I don't have that much time to knit on personal things. So yeah, 2 weeks. I thought of recording last week actually, but I had a friend that came over, and when you have family or friends, it's always hard to find a time to sit and share the things that you're doing. So yeah, that's why I was away for the past few weeks. But I've been missing podcasting quite a lot. I've been wanting to sit and chat with you. So here I am today. So yeah, 2 weeks I was working on deadlines mostly and working on other designs. I will show you some swatches that I made. Then last week, so when my friend Mary was visiting, I wasn't knitting that much because the weather is really nice. It almost feels like summer, if not summer already, and that's really lovely. We went to the seaside, and yeah, just lovely. So I knit her a hat in 2 days. That's the only knitting that I had last week, and I must confess that it feels so weird not to knit as often as I'm used to. When I wake up, that's usually the first thing that I do with my cup of tea. So not knitting and waking up a bit later than usual and going to sleep later wasn't usual for me. So yeah, I don't have the hat to show you because she took it with her to Berlin, obviously. But it's a pattern that I have knit before, so I still have the hat, the first hat that I've knit, and I can show you the yarn that I have used. I finished the hat in 2 days, and I completed it, I believe, maybe 1 hour, 45 minutes before she left. So we were sitting in a coffee shop, and the sun was shining and most probably burning my sunburns already. So I was knitting and sweating at the same time, but I wanted her to go back to Berlin with her hat, so I finished it in time. So the yarn that I have used is drops. Drops. I believe it's a DK or worsted weight, and that's most probably a merino or merino alpaca blend. I don't know if they do that. Probably just wool or merino. And that's some leftover that I had. I just had the right amount to finish the hat. That's just what I have left from the I had like a bit more than a skin left. So, and the hat that I had knit is the Dustland by Stephen West. So that's the very first one that I knit last winter in November or maybe January. No, not January of this year, so maybe November of last year. And it was so cold. I remember when we took the pictures, in Riga, in the old town. It was probably something like -15. It was a really, really cold day. And yeah, just I was very happy to have that on my ears and on my head. And I just love the pattern. It's very, very simple, but the different stitches make it so interesting. And yeah, so you just never bored, because when you're done with one section, you just start the second one, and the second and the other one, and then another one. So it's always changing, and you can rest a bit on the garter section. So that's a very, very lovely pattern. It's a hat that I wear quite a lot in the winter. This one was knit with baby alpaca, Manos del Uruguay Miski, I believe. I will link everything. Yeah, just a lovely, lovely pattern. I love the crown decreasing as well. My version might be a bit too large, because the yarn was thicker, I believe. The pattern calls for worsted weight, so I don't know if this yarn is actually worsted or not. And because it's alpaca, it usually shrinks. So yeah, just lovely, lovely pattern. And she was so thrilled, because I haven't seen her in 2 years. And the last time that I saw her, I knit her a hat, and she tells me that she wears it almost the whole year round in Berlin. And the hat, she still wears it, but it's not as pretty as the first day. So she asked me to knit her a second one. So I was really happy to make her something, and I know that she will love it, and she will wear it a lot during the winter in Berlin. So yeah, I was really, really happy. Though I hope that I won't see her in 2 years and knit her another hat. I just hope that I will have the time to see her before that. Hopefully go and visit Berlin, spend some time with her. I went to Berlin once, I think, most probably 6 or 7 years ago, and I fell in love with the city. I remember walking in the streets and stopping in small coffee shops, and I really loved the melting pots in the city, all the different people from different countries spending time together, and the cultural and historical aspect of the city is absolutely interesting. And yeah, the coffee shop, I have serious addiction to coffee shops. So coffee shops and libraries. No, it's bookstores. Bookstore, because in French it's librairie. The bookstores, and I believe that there's a couple of yarn shops in Berlin as well. So that would be lovely to visit Berlin in the winter time. That would be so, so great. So yeah, she was there for a week, and we did quite a lot of things together. We managed to go out a little bit and visit Tallinn. So that's the only Baltic state that I haven't visited. And yeah, that was amazing. We spent the whole day there, and our initial plan was to cross the sea and spend another day in Helsinki, but buying the tickets the same day or the day right before the departure wasn't possible. The prices were way too high, so we didn't manage to go there. So that was a bit of a shame, because yeah, I just wanted to visit Helsinki, which is the only country in the Scandinavian region that I haven't visited, so I really wanted to go, and I know that there's a couple of yarn shops and coffee shops and other places that I wanted to visit. One movie that I absolutely love is a Japanese movie called Kamome Diner, and it's set in Helsinki, so I wanted to see if the place actually existed and just yeah, just visit the city and go to the markets and just spend some time there. But we spent the day in Tallinn, and that was amazing. The old town is actually 3, if not 4 times bigger than Riga's old town. It's very colorful, and there's a lot of coffee shops and souvenir shops, and the architecture is very, very beautiful. And yeah, there's a very special atmosphere when you're there, and it's something that I adore. We arrived at around 7 in the morning. Yeah, 7 in the morning, and we're tired and hungry, so we stopped for a coffee and some pancakes just to eat a little bit and wake up. Then we walked for a couple of hours and bought some souvenirs that I will show you a little bit later. And we had lunch in a medieval restaurant. I know that we have one in Riga, but I've never been there. But when we passed by this restaurant, I was really, really excited, and I really wanted to go and try the food. The decor is medieval, so when you enter the restaurant, there's no light, there's no electricity, there's candles everywhere, and the waitresses were wearing costumes, and the menus were written in a medieval way. I had my menu written in French, and I must confess that it was quite challenging to read medieval French and try to understand some words that I hadn't seen before. So I ordered a mushroom soup, so I was not trying something too weird, I guess. So yeah, mushroom soup, and we had some pear cider, and we had a lovely, lovely time there. So yeah, I'm gonna show you my the things that I bought there. So yeah, I've tried to be very reasonable and not get a ton of things. We stopped by a shop where they were selling Estonian wool. So I don't know if the wool is actually comes from Estonia, but I really wanted to get something, but I believe that the yarn was some kind of lace weight, and I'm trying to be very reasonable and not get yarn if I don't have a specific project in mind. So I didn't get any, and I just realized that I forgot to take a picture of the wool. So that will be for another time. So I didn't get wool. I was reasonable. I got some soap. It's handmade. It's a handmade recipe, and I believe that they use like pine. I don't really know how it's called in English. I will insert a link as well. So yeah, it smells a lot. It's not a very, very nice smell, but it's very good for the skin. It's antiseptical, and it's good. It's a moth repellent smell, so it's very nice. I think I might put it in my yarn, though everything is wrapped in plastic, but I have a couple of skins here and there, for example, so I might just hang it, and it's very pretty as well. So that's what I got. Then I just got another thing, I guess. I was in yarn heaven, in knitted items heaven, and I just wanted to buy everything. I wanted to get Fair Isle socks and lace socks and I don't know, everything. They had shawls but the only thing that I actually got, and there was no way I could say no to this, was this little pair of mittens. They are the cutest thing ever. As I said before, we're right into summer. The summer season has started, but when I see it, I hang them on the branch there, and whenever I see them, I just wish that winter will come faster. I know I shouldn't say that, but I just want to, yeah, just wear them. That's so cute. Hand knit and with 100% wool. And they are knit inside out. So pretty. My friend Mary got, I believe, 3 pair of socks. Yeah, 3 pair of socks and a pair of mittens. And but I can get knitted items in Riga too. If you go in the old town, there's a lot of places where older elder ladies are knitting and selling hand knit items. So I believe it's a really good thing to support them, try to bring them a little bit of income. And socks are not my favorite thing to knit, and so yeah, I believe that this winter I will get myself a couple of pairs because the winters are quite cold here, and it's always nice to have stockings or tights and wear a pair of socks on top. Anyway, I'm not gonna talk about winter anymore because we're in summer, so I have to stop dreaming of snow and Christmas in July. Christmas in July. Then I'm gonna show you the work in progress. So the week before I was knitting on the hat for my friend Mary, and the week before, 2 weeks before, I was working on deadlines. So I finished one of the deadlines and everything has been sent out already, so that's a weight off my shoulders so I can work on other things, and that's what I've been doing. So yeah, we are having a little KL on Instagram with a couple of ladies. It happened that we started knitting on the same pattern at the same time. I think there's like 5 or 6 of us. And seeing each other pictures, we were like, oh my goodness, you're also knitting on this pattern. And we eventually decided to start a mini KL on Instagram. So if you want to have a look, you can use the hashtag quill. So it's QUILLKAL on Instagram and see each other's progress. I believe that there's people that are joining us. It's a very beautiful pattern. There's 2 versions, a small one and a large one. I'm actually making the small one using one color, but you can use several colors to make the large version. I don't know if you can use different colors for the small one, but well, I guess you can. So I finished the central panel, which is a garter stitch section. Then I picked up the stitches around, and I'm now working on the first lace section. Gonna try not to drop my stitches. So that's the first section. And yeah, it's hard to show because I'm knitting in a round at the moment, so I have everything on the cable needle. But I had to read back. I'm starting the second lace. No, it's the first lace section. Yeah, the first lace section, but I'm on row 10 or something, and I had to read back because I've tried to knit in front of movies, and of course I'm not using any stitch marker after the repeats, so I got lost and I wasn't able to get the right amount of stitches at the end of the repeat. So yeah, it's not very pleasant to knit at the moment. There's nothing wrong with the pattern, just my mind that cannot knit at the moment. It's just when I have to think after work, when I was brainstorming for the whole day, I just wish I could keep going on the garter stitch. So yeah, I'm gonna try to fix the mistakes this week and hopefully keep going on because it's a very lovely pattern. I'm not rushing at all. I'm just taking my time, enjoying the pattern, and I will have it done when it will be done. I'm not rushing at all. So yeah, I'm working on that. Then I've been swatching a whole lot lately for a new pattern, and yeah, I have a very specific idea in mind, but it always happens this way. I start with the specific idea in mind, and because the pattern that you're working on, the stitch pattern that you're working on, needs to have increases and decreases. So when you try to incorporate this specific pattern inside a shape, most of the time it doesn't work this way. So you have to modify things. So that's why I've been making so many swatches. This is knit in Jamieson&Smith. Some leftover that I had. This is some Latvian wool, or should I say New Zealand wool. This is Latvian wool, New Zealand wool. This is Quince & Co. in turn. And that's Latvian wool, New Zealand wool that I hand dyed. So that doesn't seem like a lot like this when you see swatches, but there's, you actually make charts. I mean, I work this way, I make charts, and when the chart is working, then I try to knit the samples or knit swatches. And when you actually see, you can actually see how the chart translates into knitting, and well, you can see how many swatches I made. So I wasn't completely convinced by what I did, and I try new things. So then you have to modify the chart, and it takes a whole lot of time to make sure that you're happy with what you're making, and yeah, just a lot of thinking. So a lot of swatches. So that's what I've been working on the 3 weeks before recording the podcast. Then I have some stash enhancements. Have a couple of things to show you. So 2 days ago I received one of my favorite yarn, if not my favorite yarn. I spent maybe 2 days trying to make up my mind and decide which colorways I was going to get, because I'm the worst when it's about choosing colors. If you go to the Jamieson&Smith website, and you want to get the 2-ply jumper weights, they have, I don't know, maybe 40 colorways, and there's so much choice that it's hard. It's really, really hard to choose a specific colorway, and I'm so difficult. I know what I like and I know what I don't like, and if I get something that I don't like, I'm gonna be frustrated and I'm not gonna be able to knit, and I will have to send it back. So I need to make sure that the color that I will receive will be the same as the one that I had seen online. So what I usually do is spend a bit more time on Ravelry and browse through the specific colorway and see the finished objects, so I can have a better idea of what the color actually looks in real life. So that's the color that I got, and I'm very pleased with this color. I've been drawn to blues lately, grayish blue. I just could knit everything with this color, and that's the shade. So it's Jamieson&Smith. So it's 100% Shetland wool, and the colorway is FC61 mix. So it's some kind of heather blue. Yeah, you can see it quite well. There's like different shades in the skin. There's like blues and grays and whites, and it's so pretty. Just love the way it knits up as well, and the fabric that you have when you knit is totally different from the fabric that you get after blocking. It blooms so much. I just love the texture, and it's not rough or itchy at all for me. Just love it. It's a beautiful color. I want to have a sweater out of this color. Very, very pretty. So that's another work in progress. I will show you the final, the finished object in a couple of months, I believe. Then I got a skin of Buckaloo View, super fine alpaca. It's a spot weight, and she dyed it with black walnuts. That's the second skin that I have received because I'm working on a new project, and I was going to run out of yarn, so I ordered a second skin, and I just adore it. Very, very pretty. I love the shades, the different variation within the skin. So I'm gonna be working with this in a couple of weeks, I believe. And last but not least is another skin and some other things that I have received from my friend Dawn on Instagram. I will link her name in the description. She went to a verb for keeping warm in California, which is where she lives, and she grabbed a couple of things for me, and she sent them out to me, and that was so thoughtful. I wasn't expecting to receive so many things, and it feels so weird to know that someone knows you so well and can select items that will make your heart sing. So she got me a skin of BFL fingering, so it's Blueface Leicester fingering weight. It's beautiful. There's 380 yards. I don't have any specific plan for it at the moment. I'm just gonna hang it on the branch over there and just stare at it and dream of the things that I will do with the skin. It's so, so beautiful. Then she got me a little notebook from Jill Draper Makes Stuff. So on the cover, the small goats and sheep. And inside there's a reminder of the kitchen stitch. I haven't used it yet, but I'm planning to keep it to write mementos of knitting techniques and things like that, because when I'm not online or the internet's not available, it's always good to have a resource that you can use wherever you are, and when you knit, it can be quite useful. So cute. She also got me a copy of the Green Cable Knits book. I've actually seen the TV show for the very first time a couple of months ago, and that was really, really lovely. And the photography in the book really is very, very cute. Very faithful to the TV show. There's a couple of lovely patterns in the book, and the photography is so beautiful. And then she actually sewed me a bag with organic cotton that she got at for keeping warm. So that's how it looks. It's the largest bag that I own, I believe, and I'm trying not to put all of my work in progress inside, but it's just like the perfect size because it's so big. I just put it inside my tote bag and go to the park or go to the beach. So yeah, love the lining and I love the outside fabric. And she actually put some lavender in the lining that she grew in her garden. I just love it. I told her that she should definitely open up an Etsy shop and sell some of her bags and other things. She's been making a lot of things lately. You can follow her on Instagram. She's been making, I believe, a leather bag that was absolutely beautiful and a couple of other things. So really excited to see what she will be making next. Yeah, so I believe that's it for this week. Yeah, as I say all the time, I will most probably record an episode in 2 weeks, not next week, because yeah, I will have too much work. I'm gonna be working on too many things, and it's quite frustrating not to be able to show you things. So that's what I'm gonna be doing, a podcast in 2 weeks. So yeah, you can find me on Instagram as bmandarines. I'm Mandarines on Ravelry, and we also have a Ravelry group, which is Mandarines. So you can just type that and find the group, join in, introduce yourself, and participate in the different conversations that we have on the board. I see you in 2 weeks, and happy knitting. Bye.